guys, it's Jeanette from Our Backroom Creations. Come on in tonight where we're going to make a thrifted candlestick holder into a nice arrangement for fall. So I'm just going to bring up my comments so I can see what everybody's saying. There we are. If you're watching the replay and do not see that little red live up there, say hashtag replay and let me know that you stopped by. I should have cleaned my glasses though. All right. There we go. Hi, Miss Tracy. Hi. How are you? Hi, Sandy. Come on in. So we're going to take a thrifted, normally I use wood ones, but I thought I can do it with glass. I loved this shape from, it was from a thrift store. We have a thrift store called Browse and Buy. But it's a non-profit for the hospice center. So I like going in there. But I liked how it had a cup right here. So either way, whether it would be flat or a cup, you can still do the same thing. Hi Cindy, how are you? So we're going to use this, and it was clear glass, and I spray painted it white. Just to give it some definition in its color, and I'm not all about just white glass. So I took, this was from the Dollar Tree. It looks like a cupcake, the ones that are angled on the sides, but I cut it down to fit my glass holder. Now I am going to glue mine in, but if you would want to change your arrangement out, maybe it's a favorite candlestick holder or something, you wouldn't have to glue it in. You could use some putty or something. Hi Lori and Lori. How's all my friends doing? So we're gonna, I got my glue pot going. I turned it on late. It's been a while since I've done a floral arrangement. I don't do them as often anymore. Not that I don't like to, I just have other things. I have been held up in my craft room for, well, since Friday, basically, because I did a live sale on Saturday as well. You guys came out and supported me, and I much appreciate it. So I'm just going to hold that down for a minute. If you guys wouldn't mind sprinkling me out, I'd appreciate it. My craft room's a mess. The shipping room's a mess. I got messes everywhere. But so much of this, so there's some things that sold that I made one and sold 4 or 5. So I'm making. Alright, I think we're glued in. So we're going to do fall. And I have, oh, it's over here. So I go in my craft room, or my closet. I have a long skinny closet with the buckets on the wall. I go in there and choose all my stuff. So we have some naturals, and we've got some oranges and yellows. And in the bottom of this, I have, it was actually I think a garland, because I have a whole bunch of little ones just like this. But I did want to show you. And I talk about this every time I do florals. Let me find something that looks a little sad. Does this look sad? Here's one folded in half. So, I don't know how you keep your florals, but you've been cleaning yours? Oh, I clean mine and then I trash it again. Well, welcome, Carol. My name is Jeanette. I'm glad that you're here with us. So this is a handheld steamer. Like you want to steam your clothes or your curtains or whatever. That's not why I bought it. I bought it, where'd that folded one go? I put all my seasonal flowers in totes because my closet's not quite big enough to hold everything I have. I have been downsizing quite a bit with my florals. I just don't use what I used to. So my tastes have changed a little bit. But if you have wrinkled faux florals, like this one's folded in flat, and this also works on flowers, like with big loose petals and stuff where they get folded over, because when they come from the manufacturer to the stores, they're squished in a box. So all you do is steam it. Now watch, that steam is hot, but I just run it over and it'll open right up. So I had florals that I'm going to use tonight that were like, they were like all like this, and I just steam it and it opens wide up like it's brand new. If it looks shaggy, I throw it away. But that's how I do my Christmas and my fall. Always gets packed up. Spring and summer get to stay in there. So that's a pro tip. If you do florals, that also works with ribbon and fabric. Sometimes I'll have fabric strips that I've cut up for maybe a garland, or, you know, like the garlands that I have back here, and they get wrinkled. So instead of getting the iron out, I'll just, if I already have that out, I'll just use the steam on the fabric, and it works just as well. Okay, so I don't need this tonight. Alright, so we got this glued in. I am no way, shape, or form a florist. I've learned a few tips over the years. I'm going to get my color out here. Most of the color that we're going to use... Oh, I even got a white one. I don't need it. Our color that we're going to use tonight is going to be in our florals, not our greenery. Because, you know, fall has that bright orange and yellowish leaves. Tonight we're going to be using some pretty dark green and dark reds. And I got like that. I'm not going to use bright tonight. I had it all shoved in one bag, but I was separating it earlier. I forget what this is called. I cut it up and the tag is off. It's cinnamon something, but it's got like a burnt look to it, like it's leaves turning from green to fall. So I like to put that in my fall floral arrangements. But most of these are dark. I don't really care for the styrofoam little balls. But this will be the colors of our leaves tonight, and the bright colors will come in the florals. Okay? And then we'll get some neutral colors in our... I love things like... I don't know what it's called. Of course it's plastic, but... And I love the... I call it golden eucalyptus. I forget where I got this from, but I love it. So how I start my florals is, first I have an idea about, do I want a drapey arrangement or do I want just a tall arrangement? You have to think, if you're making this for yourself and you want to put it on your dining room table, think about people having to look over or around it. So that may help you decide where you want to, or what shape you want to do it. So we're going to start, my flowers are not going to be huge. Sometimes I have some really big ones. But we're going to use, that one's just, that's, I cannot say flowers, guys. Ranunculus. I make up names for them. That one's from Michael's. Walmart actually doesn't have too bad of flowers. Of course, I like Hobby Lobby. And I do like, did these come? They're mini mums. I got some from Dollar Tree years ago, and I haven't been able to find them since. But they're real little, and I love them. And of course, I don't go into Dollar Tree a whole bunch anymore. We're not going to use white. And I have some just odd ones. Normally, I like to use things in threes, but if you have an extra something, some people just won't use it. I will. Especially when I make grave saddles. So this will be the biggest one that we will make or use tonight. If you see the blue follow after any of my friends in here tonight, give them a follow. It's free. If you don't like not a lot of notifications, you can go up in the settings and just get highlights, or you can get everything. I know Cindy there, she had to start over, so if you can give her a follow, I'm sure she would appreciate it. She had to start over she lost her account. So I do have a pick machine, but I don't plan on having to use it tonight. Now, when I first started out, I dry fitted everything, because you can go out like this, and you can go up, and this is how I do cemetery arrangements. So, like, I would set the perimeter of how big I want it, and then I would put one out this way and one out this way. I don't want it quite that big, so we're gonna downsize the stem over here. Now when you do something like this, you don't have a whole lot of styrofoam, so you got to remember what kind of flowers, because you can have stems that are really beefy. Oh, Rainy, just try. Listen, girl, I couldn't do... I'm a matchy person. Like, if it goes here, it's got to go here. And I've tried to get away from that. But, Dylan Palmer is a florist. And he does amazing arrangements. He's the one I watched to learn how to make cemetery arrangements. Hi, Mary Claire. Yep, I am live. So, in floral arrangements, it's good to work in odd numbers. I don't promise that I always do that, but we will try. So, a triangle is your friend in floral arrangements. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect, what do they call it, an equilateral triangle. It can be like, you know, like this, but that's how you get your eye to move around the floral arrangement. So I'm just going there. This is going to be a 360, which means you can see all around the whole sides. If you do a 180, means it's going to be up against the wall. So after I decide where I really want them, I'll stick them in glue. And when I do floral arrangements, I have a glue pot that I like to use. It's just a lot easier than using a glue gun tool. I've been slipping lately. Now if you get some that have wires in them, you can bend them. So you can bend them what way you want them to go. I have a lot of little stems that I need to get in here. So I'll have to be mindful about that, because I'm going to use a lot of these. I'm pretty sure these were Dollar Tree. They were either Dollar Tree or Walmart, because they got little gourds in them. But I'm going to fill in my outer, because then that helps you with the shape of it. And these little thingies, they're not my friend. I don't like them. I throw them away. Or I save them for my granddaughter. They're the styrofoam things. I just don't care for them. Now sometimes I get sticks that the leaves have came off because I took off the thing in the middle. Just glue it back on. You're not going to be able to see it when we're done. So like I take out the middle. So now this can come off if it doesn't, depending on how the plastic is. And I try to remember, like, if your leaves are different color, like I have a lot of green, so now I'll have to go back with a lot of the other colors. Listen, if you watch Dylan Palmer, you get good instruction and a comedy show in the middle, because he is funny as heck. And he's just like that in person. I've been around him quite a few times, and he is just a really nice guy. And Josh too, his partner. And it's just easy for him. I remember the very first convention I went to that he was designing for. There was a running joke. JoJo, that used to be a designer here. I don't know, is she still? I haven't seen her. But anyway, Katie, it was with Christmas balls. So every time they said Christmas balls, we would all yell balls. Not being derogatory, just being funny. So when he said it, of course we did it. He's like, why are you guys yelling balls at me? Hey Pat, how are you? You had to be there. It was funny. Gosh, that's been 4 years ago. So I've got them all around the outside. So I went back with reds to kind of even up some of that green, and I may put more in there. You don't want to fill it up too fast. No, I'm not pushing them far in, because when I go up top, I want room in the styrofoam for my florals up top. Because that little piece of floral doesn't have a whole lot of room. And if you glue them, once you get them a ½ an inch in, they're not going anywhere. Need a red, here's a red. So yeah, on something like this, I don't push them in very far. Now, if you ever have florals that just pop off, and you're like, I don't know where the stem would. I don't say something this small, but I have a bag of stems that are about 5 or 6 inches long. If you need an extra stem, like I got a leaf from somewhere. Now, these are kind of tall. Now, sometimes I will cut, bushes apart, and sometimes I will do individuals. If it's a bigger arrangement, I'll keep them together, but this is such a small arrangement, I'll probably use them in singles. And what I'm doing over here is I'm moving my glue in a circle. That helps get all those glue spiders, so you're not dragging your glue across your table. And the more glue you have on the end, that also takes up that room down on the styrofoam. The only ones that I really ever push real far in is when they have a steel pick on them. But I had to, all these were so wrinkled. I sat up here for like a ½ an hour before and had to steam them. Hi Mary Schneider, how are you? So now I want some, I love love this. I bought it from Reagan House, and I've pretty much picked and prodded a lot of it. Reagan House is a wholesale, but they open up 2 or 3 times, twice a year for cash sales. I think they should have another one. I think maybe they do it 3 times. But they have amazing stuff. Of course, it's really expensive too. But their cash sales stuff. They used to do a floral tent. Well, they still do. So this one doesn't have a stem. Oh, I threw that one away. So I could put a pick on that, or I could put another stem on it. But that adds, it's color, but it's also different textures. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. I have been held up in my craft room making stuff from my sale. I was out in the she shed looking for stuff, and I found, when I was part of a group, Kathy Kirkland, if y'all don't know her, she made dolls and stuff too, and I used to buy them from her. Oh my gosh, do I have a plenty. I found a skeleton man, and I found a witch. I never did anything with them. They just went in a tote. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? This might be too tall, but we're going to go with it. Because you kind of want... Have you ever seen the football frames at Dollar Tree? I bought a whole case, not because I made football wreaths or anything, but it's a guide for floral arrangements. I'll show you. I'll do one here in a couple weeks, and they're lovely. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you. And I can never decide how much stuff I want to use in an arrangement, so I usually have a lot more than what I will actually need. So we have some yellow and orange. I want a couple. I love sunflowers. I love great big ones, and I love small ones, and I love itty bitties. Did I say I love sunflowers? Hey, Sarah from Houston. I've been to Houston several times. Mostly just to switch planes. So you can see I had this right here, and it was right above my orange flower, so I just bent it over. And that's how you can kind of... Can I leave the leaf on that? Because, no, good. Some of the leaves on florals, I just don't like. So, I usually take them off. Now, if things have leaves on it that are really nice, but I just don't want it in that arrangement, I'll keep it. Especially for grave saddles, I'll put the leaves, big leaves on the bottom, just to cover up all that hardware. So I want one more. Now see, here will be a nice long stem. So I'll keep stuff like that in case I have. Now when you have a bush and you start cutting them all off, I never cut them all the way down. But if you keep them in buckets or anything, they do cause issues if you don't, because they'll get caught on things. Trust me, they do. So I've been trying to cut them all down, or I'll cut all the flowers off. I try to leave all the flowers together though. Thank you, Cheryl. Are they, Debbie? I don't know if it's my favorite. Cabbage roses and peonies are actually probably my favorite flower. I like cabbage roses. But I do like a lot of flowers. But if I had to pick three, cabbage roses, peonies, and sunflowers. And I like sunflowers in all colors. The white, the blues, the reds. So you can see how I kind of put them at different levels. I even bring it down. So like there, I brought it up, but then I bent it over because I want the flower to go to head out, not up. I don't know where that came from. Thanks, Cindy. Having a hard time reading tonight. My eyes are a little blurry. Even I put a monitor up here on my table so I can see it better. Yesterday my back was telling me, you need to go to bed. I didn't get everything done. Usually I'll paint stuff at the end of the day so it has overnight to dry. But that didn't get done last night. Not all of it anyway. Ouch. Ooh, I touched that. I don't want that there. I touched that glue pot. I have the Sherbonder glue pot. I love it. So if I could probably turn it down a little bit, because it is hot. You know, how much I try, I still get the glue spiders everywhere. I'll take the heat tool at the end and blow it, and it'll just melt them all away. So I should have got my Lazy Susan out. I usually twirl it around and I can tell where my empty spots are and how, like right here, I'm starting to get outside of my nice little arch. So I'll either correct it over here or build it up over here. And if anybody is a florist watching this and you're going, that girl's crazy, I am. I just go by what people smarter than me have done and said. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Let's get some more neutral colors. This reminds me of my grandma's. Those big, it's not a bush, it's a tree, but they're pokies. When you walk around barefooted, I grew up barefooted. And then when they dry, they look so, these aren't, but when they dry, they're nice and pokey. I used to hate going around that tree. No, that's a little too rustic. Here, we'll go with, this will be a nice, this is the last of this one. I'll have to find out. I think I might have got it at Cleese. We love crazy. That I am. Now, I love pushers, too. For floral arrangements where you're not going to see nothing down low, push it up so then it builds this up at top. Hi, Cruz. Thank you. My granddaughter was here for 2 weeks, and she finally went. Her mom said, I got to go through clothes with her for school. And I'm like, all right. my internet, ooh, that's pretty. I love that. That eucalyptus. Our internet went out. The cat chewed the cord. And it's not just a regular coax cord. It's a fiber optic. We have fiber optic internet. And the cat loves to chew cords. We have so many cords just covered with this plastic stuff. But we didn't get to that one. Hi, Diane. I don't remember if I sent your invoice today or not. If not, it'll come tomorrow. I was invoicing all morning long. Also, look at other people who make arrangements and see how they do it and go, oh, that makes sense. Not to copy them, but just like to see, like I said, use the triangle and the method of 3 or 5, you know, odd numbers, just to see how other people are utilizing their arrangement. Hi, Gretchen. How are you? Are you up next? Oh, I'm so sad. This is going away. But it's a pusher. This is the last of it. I gotta put some more glue in my pot. Though I might wait for it to go empty and clean it before the holiday season. Because there's still glitter in there. Okay, great, Diane. Thank you. I've been busy making stuff, so I can't remember if yours... I have to make something. I think I might. Anyway, it'll go out in a couple days. I'm making those little scarecrows on a bed spring. I sold 5 of those over 2 days. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm still not happy about right there. Let's see here. Let's bring this down. What else we got? Now I'm going to break the rules. I got one there. I got one there. See, I always got like bits and pieces I find. I don't throw them away because I'll find a way to use them. And I don't like that. So a lot of things you can just take them apart. I'll just take that off. And then I have one that doesn't have. So I will, because I had a real long one, so there I will cut that one. Just put a tiny bit of glue on it. Voila! Just because it's just the flower part doesn't mean you still can't use it. I'm just going to put a little tiny pop of red in there. Ooh. That is a big glob of Spanish moss. So when I first started making an arrangement, I just put them in dry. And then if I didn't like it, I just tore it apart. I don't know if I like those. The yellow seems a little off. These look better. Put a couple. Here goes with them leaves again. I don't like them. See, these came from, I always forget, is Ashlyn Joann's or Michael's? It was Joann's, wasn't it? That one didn't want to come off. So we're just going to put a couple, 3. So Floyd would always ask me, why are you putting such a short flower in there? Well, I'm not putting it in there to stand straight up. I'm putting it in there to be bent outwards. Because I need to build up this area just a little bit. Because the other side's a little bit far out. And if you don't like how something looks, put it together dry, and then sleep on it. Because if I don't like something, I won't take it apart right away unless it's just really, really bad. But I'll sleep on it and then I'll come back and look at it. Or I like to take pictures of it and look at it. When you look at it like from a picture angle, it's different than, like a lot of times I look on the camera to see what it's looking like because it's what you see. I have one more of these. I know I'm not supposed to use even numbers, but guess what? I'm gonna break the rules. It's my arrangement. Yep, take a picture. Don't send it to the husband because the husband will tell you everything looks great. Or my husband is cute. And I'm like, wasn't going for cute, but okay. See, I'm looking at, you want things that kind of come out, but you don't want to go out so far that you're blowing your curves. Or I would, like at Christmas time, sometimes if I'm trying a new technique, I'll send it to a couple people and go, okay, give me an honest review. Not a friend, but maybe someone that's you're not real close to. Hi, Cynthia. Because if you're real close to them, they're just going to tell you what you want to hear. Oh, that's so pretty. Now, when I have my private group, there's rules of color and rules of wreath making, of how to choose your colors that you use in your wreath and all that. And I let my students or the group choose based on the rules. And I didn't like it. But they followed direction, and then after a couple of days, I'm like, you know what? I kind of do really like that. Now, I don't normally put moss on floral arrangements like this because I'm going to cover just the styrofoam. But if you think you're not, I would cover it. Time for you to go to bed. Sweet dreams, Mary Claire. Thank you, Cynthia. But you can see why I had, now if I had used the great big fall, the fall leaves that look like this, they would blend too much into my flowers, and then the flowers would just be hidden. So I'll set it somewhere where the cat can't get it. I've never had a cat that chews cords like she has. I don't know how many charger cords. She doesn't usually chew on the cloth covered things though. So I've been using that as a fallback. But I do a lot of greenery and florals in the fall and Christmas time. I've already got out, switched my closet over. I have found that I used to be all about pink. I love pink. I still like the color pink, but as you grow older, I think your tastes change. So I need to fill in a little bit right here. Now things like this are great to fill in. If you have some pieces that are maybe real short, like this. Now, I would normally go over there and grab my pick machine, but I got my florals here in the way. So I'm just going to glue it right next to another stem. Thank you, Diane. And don't forget, if you're not part of Craft Around the Clock, come over and join us. There's ladies, I mean, we have wreath makers, we have people that do resin and florals and the little, I don't know, I call them the laser cutouts. I like the laser cutout, you know, the little wood kits and stuff. But I like, how do I say this without being mean? I don't like overkill in them. Sometimes I think we lean on the imagination of a machine and not the creator. Does that make sense? I mean, and you still have to have vision of creating the project, but I guess that's my old age sinking in. You would have thought my granddaughter was here when we didn't have internet. She's like, she almost teared up and she's like, I was supposed to play with my friend on the Xbox. I'm like, well, not today. Thank you, Sandy. I'm like, if you want to go home, I can take you home early. She's like, no. So we made a mask out of something she likes, and she painted, and which those are all stuff she likes to do anyway, but she was forced to do it. But it is amazing. When the text showed up, I said, you know, it's amazing how much the internet has changed how we live our lives. That's the first thing I do in the morning is check my email. Thank you, Mary Snyder. So I just gave a couple little peekaboos in there. I didn't want orange to make it overbearing, so I just put just enough orange in there to tie it all together. But I like it. I think the shape is getting there. I'll look at it again tomorrow and see if there's any other boo-boo areas I need to fill in. But that's why I like to talk to you guys, those who, like, I wish I could do that. I couldn't do it a few years ago. I would just take some flowers, stick them in a vase, and there you go. But I like to tell you why I'm doing something, so hopefully that will make sense. Or at least make sense to me. And then I'll take the heat tool and just go over it. Don't stay in one place. If there's any little glue, spiders, webs, this will take care of it. I'm gonna have to find some more of that gold eucalyptus. I really like that. I think it complements the greenery part of it. Thanks, Pam. Yeah, I didn't grow up with the internet either. I'm 50. I'll be 55 this month. But here's my arrangement. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out with me. Today is Monday. And I'll be back Friday for Faux fun Friday. And Wednesday night, I'm planning on doing a live sale with mesh and ribbon if you're interested. But thanks so much for coming and checking it out, and I hope to see you later. Bye, guys.